All right, well, forget about rescue. My next guest says just sue him. Peter Flaherty is the president of the National Legal and Policy Center, says that AIG already has proven incapable of being trusted with its own dough, let alone more than $170 billion of our dough. So, Peter, you say let him rip.
Well, I would ask the question, what's next? This whole controversy over the bonuses is just a byproduct of the Obama-Geithner policy, which is to lurch from crisis to crisis. And
well, they're not the first, Peter, to do that. The last administration had the same crisis-to-crisis mentality.
Well, of course, and Henry Paulson and Timothy Geithner are the architects.
Right.
Now, we heard a few minutes ago Congressman Cummings talk about there being a new sheriff in town. I don't know who that would be. Perhaps it's Andrew Cuomo. I was hard to see.
How do you sue them, though, Peter? I mean, if you argue you can't knock blood out of a stone, how do you get this stone to cough up anything?
Well, I think I'm arguing for something a little more severe than lawsuits. I'm arguing for a criminal investigation into what happened at AIG. Forgive me if my analysis is too simple, but what we have here is a series of credit default swap bets that could not be paid off if they lost. Now, we wouldn't care if there wasn't that much money, but it was so much money that it threatened to bring down the entire financial system. So Andrew Cuomo today is asking for certain data so he can establish whether this was indeed fraud. My question is, where is Eric Holder? The members of this administration have been complaining. They've been complaining for 2 or 3 days now about how awful this is, but some of the checks were mailed on Friday. I think it's time for the U.S. government to launch a criminal investigation into what happened at AIG. It may not help us get our money back, but it will help to bring justice to one of the most serious crimes of the century.
I think that's a brilliant idea. I think it's absolutely starkly simple yet brilliant. But here's why that would never happen: that it would point a negative light on the people who are doing the most yapping right now. And well, that's why they don't want to see it, right?
And remember, the AIG bailout was also a bailout of AIG's counterparties. The biggest counterparty was Goldman Sachs. Now, at Goldman Sachs, the top 4 or 5 people have said they're not going to get their bonuses, but everybody else is. So we hear a lot of fake populist rhetoric out of this administration, but when it comes right down to it, Timothy Geithner and Barack Obama are the best friends that failed Wall Street executives have ever had.
Well, they had some pretty good friends in the last administration, but you're right.
Yes, they did. But where's the new sheriff? Where's the new sheriff?
Okay. Peter, thank you very much. We'll see what happens.
Thank you, Neil.